In PoE Tribute, a fan-made card game based off the action RPG Path of Exile, you control a party of 3 exiles in direct battle with your opponent's party of 3 exiles. You take turns invading each other's maps, and if your opponent cannot defend with a greater or equal number of exiles, the spoils are yours to reap and you gain control of one of your opponent's maps. When you have obtained 10 total maps, you win the game. Each player begins the game with their 3 exiles and 1 map in play. Over the course of the game, you and your opponent will be able to play more maps, and like most card games, your opponent will be directly across from you. Maps provide resources. In the actual Path of Exile game, there are tons of resources, but in this digital card game, we simply call it mana. At the beginning of your turn, count all maps in play, and that amount is added to your mana globe. Most maps have effects as well that can add to deck building strategies. Maps also dictate which type of mobs you can play. Mobs must share a type with a map in play or else they cannot be played. As you can see here, with one forest map type in play, this is a level 1 mob. If either player plays a second forest map type, it will become a level 2 mob. Most mobs become very powerful at max level. With 4 map types in play, this mob gains a very dangerous ability. One important mechanic in PoE Tribute is that the number of maps and map types are shared by all players. So playing more maps will not only give yourself more mana and allow your mobs to reach higher levels, but your opponent as well. With these 4 map types in play, each player will receive 4 mana and can play mobs with cave, mountain, snow, or swamp types. If your opponent plays this cave mob, it will be a level 3. Since there are 2 cave maps, you control 1 and your opponent controls 2. 3 cave maps equals a level 3 cave mob. Mobs become stronger with more map types in play, so there are pros and cons of building a specialized deck versus a versatile one. While mobs are cheap and very strong early, exiles are the focus of this game. Mobs that are destroyed are put into your graveyard and remain there until something brings them back, if anything. But when an exile is destroyed, they become impaired, and they cannot be used to invade or defend. You are allowed to heal 1 exile per turn, so the best way to win the game is to destroy your opponent's exiles while keeping your own alive to create a numbers advantage. Unlike most mobs, exiles can be beefed up with gear, gems, and spells. Gear and gems are extremely powerful, and the right setup can make any exile solo carry your team, but these have their own requirements that must be built around. The symbols alongside this exile's portrait show its attributes. Red is strength, green is dexterity, and blue is intelligence. An exile must meet the attribute requirements to be equipped with any gear or gems. Here we have a berserker with 4 strength and 2 dexterity. If we look at these 2 pieces of gear, we see that he meets the attribute requirements and can be equipped. If we add up all the bonuses, his attack and defense rating would jump from 8-3 to 14-1. The berserker will surely destroy anything in his path, but also notice that he gets stronger for each enemy that is defending or being defended by him. But he is a bit of a glass cannon. Maybe there are some ways that we could balance out his weaknesses. Books of skill and spells are temporary effects that can be extremely powerful in the right situation, especially since they can be used at any time to surprise your opponent and turn a losing fight into one that really cripples their game plan, though most of these effects only last during the turn they are played. Imagine playing Molten Shell and his beefed up Berserker. Hello, Mr. 2815, thinking emoji. On to hideout cards. These are permanent effects that can really help your deck come together. They're not powerful on their own, but they can help accelerate your win condition and enable other cards to carry your team to victory. There are so many decisions to make while building and playing your deck. Every decision has its opportunity cost. You can build and play a very specific strategy that is strong against some, but weak against others, or you can try and be flexible to give you a chance to win against any opponent's strategy. With 13 total exiles, many types of gear, gems, and spells, what path will you take to steal all of your opponent's maps so that way you can freely farm them for yourself? And that's PoE Tribute in a nutshell. Thanks for watching.